Shall we begin?
Gamer Gen Xer here, and what we have is some actual gameplay of Gachiakuta, the game. And so we're going to take a look at that and see what this game is really all about. So let's check it out.
とりあえず動かなくなるまで切っとけばいいよな。そうしよう。
俺はエンジンしがない掃除屋だ。
厄介なんは俺の仕事じゃけえの。
All right, so we saw the gameplay, and what I want to do now is kind of run through the video here and give my thoughts. Rudo is really skinny. Wouldn't mind a little bit more muscle definition, but you know. So you got punches, little slow, wish it was faster. Then he's got the plunger. Let's remember that. Chain attack. And then he charges up. And this is a much more powerful attack. And then I believe, as we saw further, this is the super. I like how they turn around and run. Like, oh shit! And then dead. They're gone. So not bad. I just wish some of the attacks was a little bit faster. Now, this character, I think, is going to be people's main character. Because she, I mean, man, she's really skinny. I mean, I think they're following the art style of, yeah, the anime, but man, look how fast she is, and so much style. Look at this. Awesome, so good. Woo! This is dynamic and chop. And I like that environment a little bit more. Hopefully they'll, you know what I mean. And then there's her super attack straight down and everybody's gone. So her attacks are probably the fastest. Then you got Engine. And love the umbrella. He's got the mask on and stuff like that. And I would say he's more of a charge-up character, which we saw further. Right, there's his basic swings, which I still feel like should be a little bit faster. So here, charge up, attack, charge up, and then you strike through and go through everybody. And then this is his super. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 6 seconds before it lands. But I guess it does a big damage AoE. But I still think that's way too long for super while they're running away, but I guess so. You know, maybe you could stop it and that sort of thing. But love this weapon, which is the man catcher, by the way. So there's his attacks, which it was a little bit faster. That's cool. You know, much more style. That's pretty cool. No problem with that. Now that attack I don't understand unless it was just powered up and just stronger. And then we've got the super where he does something like a tuning fork. And then just hits everybody because he has a lock on. So there you go. So pretty cool, pretty cool. So we have confirmation that this is coming out for PlayStation 5, for Steam, for Xbox, and all of that. And we got confirmation that this is actually a survival action RPG. Yeah, it's got combat and survival. So stylish, melee combat, it says. Monster infested zones. You have to complete missions. There's even base building, where you could develop your cleaner headquarters by scavenging for objects from missions, unlocking new features, and creating a safe stronghold. So there's going to be much more things to do than just fighting. Then there's a multiplayer. It supports real-time co-op play and includes cross-platform functionality. So that's cool. So right now we only have 4 characters. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I am pretty intrigued on this. This is not an arena fighter. It's not a cell shade fighter. The whole thing that it's co-op. It's going to have zones and areas and base building, the multiplayer, the combat. And I'm pretty sure we unlock other characters. That just goes without saying. So let's take a look and probably go over the trailer because I need a refresher. So I'm going to, through the magic of editing, grab that and put it in the video. And we're going to talk about what that shows. Okay? So, all right. Yeah, that trailer, much more exciting than the gameplay. Let's kind of go through this a little bit here. Let's, maybe we get some cutscenes like this. And one of the big differences you notice is that they have everybody with their mask on. So I love the trash beast here. And it looks like you're going to actually fight them. And if they're going to follow anything like the anime or the manga, they come in different sizes and do different things. So there's Engine, which I would want to call his lance, like umbrella. And there he goes. Just super fast. Here's another. It's a cutscene, so it's really good. So this looks like, ooh, that was nice. I guess it's just really devastating, so. Wait a minute, I want to go back. This looks like it could be, I know this is a 3D cutscene, but everybody else's attacks, yes, looks whatever, but this right here looks like actual gameplay. I want to do this in the game. And you see the other character comes in, Engine comes in, the same Zanka. So there's everybody with their masks. And then there's Rudo, and then watch this. Shoots and then changes again to what we've seen before. Love the mask. And then blam, the great cleanup begins. So there you have it. I'm actually interested in this game. And one thing I just thought about looking at the trailer, I think the survival part comes in when you're at the trash beast. If they're going to follow the anime, like if you lose your mask, you can, I guess, die. Or I don't know how the game's going to do it that way. But you got zones where you don't have to use your mask. There'll be zones where you have the mask on. I think that's pretty cool. That's their survival part. I get it now. We're going to have to face Jabber. We know that. And it even says that you're going to have, let me look here, use objects acquired through missions to develop your cleaner headquarters and establish a safe stronghold against threats against outlaws. So are we going to get the same thing that we got in the anime, in the manga, where you have enemy bandits or rebels or mercenaries that show up at your stronghold and you have to defend and fight it in like waves or something? I don't know. The fact that it's also co-op and that, one day I could be playing as Engine and the next day Rudo and vice versa and vice is just incredible. We don't have a lot of co-op anime games, other than like a Versus or a typical RPG. But this looks like a beat 'em up survival RPG with fighting mechanics. And I think we will probably get some upgrades and different weapons and stuff like that. They even say there's some graffiti art that you will find around the world and stuff like that. So anyway, it looks like a lot to do, a lot that is going on. And so, at first I didn't know what to think, but now pleasantly surprised, and now it's on my watch list. Anyway, thanks for listening. This is Gamer Gen Xer.